Shalom. First and foremost, call I'm like how Shai Bashim Kakodash. Salutation to the elect. Job chapter 10, verse 20. It says, "Are not my days few? Cease then, let me alone, that I may comfort a little. For I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness, shadow of death, a land of darkness, darkness itself, shadow of death, without any order, where the light is as darkness." So, being though that we live here in Babylon, the shadow of death, it says now, though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, shadow of death, but uh, not just America, but the whole earth, really, because America runs the earth. The so-called white man who runs America, so he is the one that control of the spirit of the people, the minds, what gets pushed out there, Hollywood, and, what the people like, what the people don't like. It's all controlled by the American media, Hollywood, like the internet and all that shit. Facebook, Instagram. That's why the Americans moved to ban TikTok and all that. So-called white man ban, get rid of TikTok because they don't like TikTok. They don't like alternative sources like RT and all that stuff. So come to find out, you know, this is Babylon. Okay, so we're in captivity. This is not our rest. And when you look at the world and the state of the world, like there's a lot of beauty in this world. There's a lot of nice places, beautiful places that you can't go because you're a slave. You gotta you gotta have a bunch of money to explore the earth, and you know what I'm saying. You're in debt slavery here. Okay, you're confined to looking at cities, concrete jungles, when the whole earth is like a green paradise. You go to the Amazon forest. I mean, I watched this guy called Raya Vlogs. Is a fellow Ziblin that, so it kind of hits close to home. But he goes to the different places and stuff. Which is a lot of these guys that are like bloggers. They go to the different parts of the world, but they show you what the world look like, and how the people are like, are poor. Everywhere you go, the people are poor. The guy he went to Venezuela. He went to Venezuela, man, and the people in Venezuela got a lot of natural resources, man. They got a lot of fine looking women. They got a lot of fine looking, lands, and they got a lot of natural resources. Petroleum, all kind of stuff, man. Natural gas, iron ore, but they don't understand why they can't use it, why they're poor, and still, because it's so-called white man. Nobody's gonna tell the truth. This devil, this so-called white man, is the cancer of the earth, and he's made everything uninhabitable. He made everything. The same dude. He went to this zoo in Singapore. They had all kind of endangered species in Singapore, man. You know, at the world's greatest zoo over there in Singapore. Which, by the way, you see how everything is. It used to be America had the world's biggest aquarium. America used to have the world's greatest zoo, and they had the world's biggest cities. Now the rest of the world is taking these different titles, because America's fallen behind in a lot of things. All right, and a lot of things America's fallen behind. Education, all that, man. healthcare. America's no longer the world leader in a lot of things. Basically, the only thing America's the world leader in is weaponry. And nuclear missiles and all that stuff. Because with the weaponry, that's how he controlled the earth through his sword, which is his ultimate blessing, right? But come to find out, the white man, his days are but numbered. But actually, I wanted to touch on this topic of death, right? In America, you can't even die here without having to pay a bunch of money. Every single aspect, it's like your camera be moving a little, but every single aspect of the society, right? You got to pay money for. Like, there's nothing free here. You don't get anything free, especially if you're a Negro, Latino, American. But you built this place up. You should actually be getting more than what you're getting now. The script say, Job the 20th chapter, his children shall seek to please the poor. His hands shall restore their goods. But come to find out, this devil, he the thing that he's least interested in is benefiting his people. Well, I mean, just look at what he does with the environment, and look at what he does to his own people. You got these you got white people that are homeless, so-called white people, man. Yeah, they're poor. Who cut you out the birthright? Amalek. He cut you out. Like the brother was going into yesterday. Nobody is gonna be poor in our kingdom. No Israelite, I should say, is gonna be poor in our kingdom. But here it is. You're living in your kingdom, and your own people have cut you out the birthright when they should be looking out for you. But that's the devil. There's no honor among thieves. So when you look at America, every single aspect of this place is set up to oppress the citizens. All right, taxes and uh, uh, um, even when you die, man. The medicine, the food, okay, the school systems. All right, the school system was set up by the Rockefellers, actually, another branch of the Rothschilds, but it was actually set up by the Rockefellers. School systems, starting from K to 12, and it was actually set up to deceive you, you know, to turn you into a worker. Because at the end of the day, they don't want a population of thinkers, free thinkers, and because a lot of people that are analytical thinkers are people who will come up against the government, which the word government means mind control. So you brothers that's in this truth, you're basically like analytical thinkers in a matter of speaking, but you're more so peaceful protesters, if you will. But that peace is gonna come to an end. The Lord gonna wage war against this place. But right now, the Lord told you be wise as a serpent, and harmless as a dove. So building upon that premise of America being death itself, like, you cannot die here for free. Okay, I'm gonna go into the numbers and everything too. So I got this article pulled up, empathy.com. It says loss has a massive impact on individuals or families, communities, but most of us are not prepared for the challenges it brings. Our annual cost of dying report provides insight into the burdens of families faced with losing one's loved one. It says in 2024 we have updated the data, and it says the further numbers. It says time. The average person take 15 months to complete all the administrative tasks to wrap up their loved one's affairs, or 18 months if they are the exactor of the estate. So you got to go through a long time period to close up your affairs after you die. Let's say somebody dies in your family or something. The average person would take about 18 months to finish up all their affairs. On top of that, the average cost of a funeral is about $20,000, depending on what state you're in. Alaska is the number one state where it's most expensive to die. Number two is Hawaii. That's pretty funny because Alaska and Hawaii are not inside of the contiguous 48 states. But you got number three is Massachusetts, where we dwell. That's the spirit. Number three was Massachusetts, most expensive state, man. All right, because a lot of people die here in this motherfucker on these roads and shit is dangerous. Um, there's a lot of death out here in Massachusetts. If you look at the plate of Massachusetts, it says the spirit of America. When you look at the plate, Massachusetts, it might not be a big like it might not be huge in terms of size, but it does have it does have an impact, big time impact on the world because here in here in Massachusetts, you got a lot of great big time universities, you know, that are responsible for moving billions and billions and billions of dollars. You got many universities just in the Boston area alone. Talk about Harvard, talk about Cambridge. Not Cambridge. Cambridge, the one in England, but in Cambridge, the area by itself, you got Harvard by itself, which is a top school in the world, and then you got MIT that's right up the block from it. Like then you have Suffolk and all these schools where all kind of people come from all over the world that come straight here to learn how to become doctors and all that shit, right? Which the word doctor means to falsify, right? You have the one of the definitions for doctor, but so they come here and learn Esau pseudoscience, right? So Massachusetts is not a light state in terms of its global economic impact on the world, but they don't do shit to fix these damn roads, though. That's one thing they don't motherfucking do. That's one thing these devils don't do. They put all that money to the upper elites, and they leave you people out here fucked up. And that's why America is known as a death pool, dead pool. So going on, it says here. Actually, let me read Job 20, 10 and 20 again. It says, "Not my days few. Cease then, let me alone, that I may take comfort a little. Before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, where the light is as darkness." So America is a land as the darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, where the light is as darkness, man. Okay, that's what America is. America represents death and everything that's wrong with the world. Even though they try to say, "Oh well, human rights and our people live, all right." In terms of the rest of the world, and you compare it to America, yeah, the people live all right. But how did they have to get how did they get to these conditions that the white man is giving them? You have to give up all your rights. You have to you have to give up your nationality. You have to worship this system. Eventually, you're gonna have to take the C hip, which is the charagma, and you're gonna be forced to, literally worship this devil even more so than you are now. All right, but yeah, this world is completely perverse. So you can't even die. You can't even die for free here. Nothing is free. And when you look at these other countries like Sweden, and they actually take care of their citizens, man. But they're Edomites too, like Sweden, like Norway, like Switzerland. These are actually cool places to live. You know, um, like when you go to Switzerland, them niggas get taken care of, man, out there. They take care of their citizens in Switzerland, boy. All right, they get Switzerland and Norway, and all right, these are pretty decent places to live. You know, you get free healthcare, you get free education. You don't got to go to debt. You know, so they actually have clean food for the people to eat. Those are basic things. Basic things that you don't see no fat people in no Norway or Sweden. You don't see that shit. But America full of fat people. When you see fat people, a nation full of fat people, that's death. You need a nation of healthy people, so they could do work, so that the children will be healthy. All right, it's a lot of things that go into the health. So, anyways, going back to this article, it says, oh, it's not. I thought I actually had more on this one. Okay, so it says the Forbes advisor is another one. The Forbes advisor, and it goes on to say, yeah, it goes on to say the most expensive states to die in America rank. Like I said, Alaska number one. All right, number two, Hawaii, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Washington. Kentucky ranks as the cheapest state to die, followed by Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri. Them states down there where it's like more rural and shit like that. They have less money according to the numbers. Death related expensive world nationwide cost 24,000. I was actually on the low end. I said 20,000. 24,000 actually. So that actually went up since the last time I looked at it. Uh, it costs $24,000 to die on average. Could be more, could be less, depending on what kind of casket you pick out, bro. If you pick out a nice, expensive little casket, man, you might be paying more, man. You know, so you got to pay for every fucking thing here, even dying. You can't even die for free. I thought dying was for free. You know, you just die and you just die. No, the expenses go on your family, man, and your debts don't get canceled out. Your debts don't get canceled out when you die. Somebody got to pay that shit. It falls on your kids. You know, here it is. Jake already got fucked up credit scores. You know, because in this society we don't get financial advice. You know, you give these young men and these young women a bunch of credit cards, and you just let them run free. You know, with no, like, what do you expect, man? But this is a debt trap. You know, you're in debt slavery. You buy cars you don't need. You buy you buy you buy you buy houses with APR rates are way too high. Cars, you got Jake out there. They barely got a job. You know, they might have a little decent job or whatever. It might pay them all right, but they get a 2024 Hellcat SRT or some crazy shit for with an APR rate of motherfucking of 37%, and they'll sign on the dotted line. They'll take the deal because Jake is not educated in terms of financial literacy and all this crazy shit. So they just doing whatever, the Esau comes in there. A lot of these people that you see with these houses and shit, they're paying these houses for 40 years, man. You know, with these high ass interest rates. That's what the word mortgage means, to the death. You basically, mortgage means the word mort means death, and age means time. You know, so basically all your life you're paying it till you basically die. That's why you got 30-year fixed. You got 40 years. Ain't nobody paying their house off in 10 years unless you hit some damn, unless you a trapper, street nigga, street dealer. And even then, you got to figure out a way to convert your money into clean it up. You know, so unless you some type of rapper or ball player, or you invented something, you got a company, you ain't paying off your house that quick. So the average person going back to the school system, right? They put you in the school system so you could be a employee, so you could work. And if you're an employee, you're at the most you'll ever make. Let's say the best jobs in America you could have, like an anesthesiologist or a CEO of a company. You ain't gonna get them type of jobs unless you a Edomite, by the way, you're a Mason. You'll be a CEO of some type of pharmaceutical company or something like that. You ain't gonna get there. First of all, you got to get into some prestigious ass university, pay a bunch of money, join a fraternity, uh, climb up the corporate ladder, fight other people in their positions. They're trying to get where you got. Their families came from money. You know, they know people. So just getting there is the most you'll make is like 500,000. Then you'll get some bonuses or some shit like that. You might be able to boost it up to like 2, 3, 4, 5 million. I mean, depending on the situation, the company you work for. But the point is that you're not going to work in a job. You're never going to be rich. All right, riches come from lying, cheating, and stealing in this world. That's why it says 1 Timothy 6 and verse 10: the love of money is the root of all evil. While some have coveted after They have erred from the faith, man, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows, because there's no way that you're gonna make money in a society and have your hands clean. I mean, I'm talking about real money. I'm talking about money where, you know what I'm saying, you could pay your house off in a couple of years. Like pay it off cash now. Like these niggas, like these rapper niggas, you see them dropping $5 million on a house. I paid my shit cash. How the fuck how the hell they get all this money? And first of all, they had to be in the streets drug dealing if they were before, if they lied about it or whatever. They got to lie on it on the songs. They got to make deals with the with the small hatters, you know, with the Leor Cohens of the world, and sound like Stephen A. Smith, but with the Leor Cohens, with the Kobe Bryants of the world. That's how that nigga talk. But yeah, you have to make backroom deals. You gotta renounce people you love. You gotta give up sacrifices. You know, literal sacrifices. Not, oh, I sacrificed in the gym working hard. No, no, you sacrifice your daddy, like the baby did, like Michael Jordan did. You know, you sacrifice your mama, like Kanye West did. But but see, the love of money is the root of all evil. All that, the need to be admired, the need to get women, the need to be something in the world leads you to do all this stuff. So anyway, in this world here in Babylon, ain't no way you're gonna be successful unless you're a wicked nigga. You know? So that's why the Lord made us poor. Now, to die in this place, you gotta have money. Every fucking aspect of this society is a financial burden. You know, it's a financial burden on the people. Okay, and if it wasn't for this truth, you all be stressing out about money. You'll all be like, you know, losing your minds about, you know, being vain and all this different crap. You know, if it wasn't for the truth, you would have the same mentality, this greedy ass, never satisfied mentality that the people of the world do. They have this fucking greedy ass, you know, mind that they can never be full, because they have the mind of Esau. First, which is the mind of the devil, by the way. First Corinthians 2:16 said, "We have not received the mind of the world, but we have received the mind of Yahushua," right? So the scripture saying Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So the world, the mindset of the world is the mindset of Aleister Crowley, of the wicked, of the white man, of the beast, of the devil. Their mind frame is to, you know, be faithless, and to, you know, they're a faithless people. That all they care about is what they can see with their eyes, you know. So the number on the screen, like I said here, 24,000, whatever. That all they think about is numbers all day. You know, bottom line, money. Okay, the company, all they care about is the bottom line. As long as you're making money, and they don't care about what you do, or what you believe in. The only reason they cancel you in this world is because you're costing these people money. Like if you say some shit that's gonna cost the company money, like nowadays you're living in a society that's politically correct, so you can't say certain things. Like you can't speak out against the small hatters because they control all the money. You can't speak out against moles because the moles control the money too. Because the small hatters are moles. You know, the white man's a mole. You can't say some certain things about women. You know, because in society women are protected. You can't say certain things. So that's why you know, this world is all about the money, traffic. You know, it's about traffic. It's all about the greenback. Eventually, it's going to turn into a world that's all about the digital currency, the MOTB. You know, right now it's the greenback, or you know, the dollar that runs the world, if you will. But whose face is on that money? The white man's face. So the white man controls the world. Everywhere you go on the earth, they're going to be speaking English. It don't matter where you go on the earth. If you go to Singapore, the motherfuckers are going to be talking English. If you go to China, they're going to be talking Mandarin or whatever, Cantonese, but they're going to speak English. You're going to go there speaking English because the white man runs the earth. Anywhere you go to Costa Rica, you go to Brazil, you go to fucking Germany, somebody's going to greet you, hello, how are you doing, sir? They ain't going to say danke, danke. They're going to say, how are you doing, Mr. James, or Mr. whatever your name is, man. So they're gonna speak to you they're gonna speak to you in English, because that's who runs the world. But this devil, he's a murderer, from the beginning. John 8:44. He abode not in the truth. He's the father of lies. So it says death-related expensive costs on an average $24,204 on world nationwide, including a median funeral cost of $7,736. An average end-of-life medical expense of $16,468. So that's that's dealing with you being in a hospital bed, or you getting medical treatments. That's on average 16,000. I remember my mom had a surgery like when I was a kid. I was like, I don't know, I was like 10 years old or some shit, 12. I remember we went to the pyramid building in Birmingham. If you brothers from Birmingham, if you ever been to Birmingham, there's a UAB called the UAB down there, University of Alabama at Birmingham. They have a pretty decent program of medicine, but they treated her, and her surgery was like $30,000, man. Back then, I shit you not, she had to be like $30,000-$40,000 back then, man. And that was in those days, and she wasn't even that old back then. She was probably like 30 something back then, So this is the end of life expenses, 16,000 on average. So imagine, you know, what these people are paying to have their dad hooked up to a machine. You know, that's why they say unplug the machine, because the cost of even getting in the ambulance. The ambulance just passed by me just now. Even the cost of getting in the damn ambulance is through the roof. It's through the roof. Getting in the ambulance, man. You know how much it is to order an ambulance, like $1,000 or something. Just just to have an ambulance pick your ass up. So it's a lot of Jake can't even afford to get sick. They can't afford to die. You know, let alone the white man can't afford to die. So how much more us? This is not our kingdom. This is not our rest. You know, 100 years ago, your ass was you didn't even have the right to own any type of property or get married or to even deal with any other woman other than your own. So, say in Alaska, the cost of dying is $33,742. In Hawaii, 32,000. In Massachusetts, 29,000. I don't want to die out here, boy. If I die over here, they're gonna have to chalk up a bunch of money. All right. All they gotta do is burn your body, man. That's it. Just gonna say, man, from dust you are, from dust you shall return, man. From the earth. So return to from whence you were. You're gonna return to the dust, man. You were from the dust. You're gonna go back to the dust. You don't have to pay to die, and but they want you to fucking pay. Massachusetts is the third highest, most expensive state to die in. New Hampshire, number four, 28,000. Washington, 28,100. California is number six. Number seven, New York. All right, you get the point. The cheapest state down here is, let's see if they showed us the cheapest state. The cheapest state, number 10, was Rhode Island, 25,000. But you still have other states, obviously they didn't name on their report. But bro, this is a fucked up condition you in, boy. And all you dudes that want to stay here, man, you're crazy. You can't even die here without paying. You cannot die here without paying some money. You can't perish here without paying some money. Here, somebody just died just now in a car crash. I guarantee you, their family is fucked up. Hey, but you know what? That's why people get health. That's why they get life insurance. People get life insurance, man. Uh, so when the payout comes, you might get. I used to sell life insurance back in the day. That's a terrible job, by the way. Uh, but you have fixed term and I think fixed term and another form, fixed in life. I think fixed in life, some shit like that. Fixed is for a certain number of years, and then life is obviously to the tenure, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, you go look it up. But funny enough, the policies will be like $500,000, $1 million. You know, so out of that money, the government's going to tax it if you decide to take that money, right? And you could borrow against your life insurance too. That's another story for another day. You could borrow against it and take out some money against it, just like you could borrow against your 401ks. But nevertheless, so you take that money out, you might get out of the million, you might get 600,000 back. Because they take about 33%, so you might get 600,000 back, and then you got to end up paying like 50,000 for funeral expenses, then whatever else bills you got and shit. So like this world, bro, is all about them greenbacks, man, and it's a shitty world, bro. It's a debt slave world. It's a world where you can't even die. In the ancient world, we didn't have to die. We didn't have to pay to die. You died, and did you have to pay the government to die? You got to pay the government to die. You can't even die with dignity. You know what I mean? You can't die with dignity. You gotta you gotta suffer until the day you die, man. You know, this is a land of death. You know, every day you live here, you gotta breathe in shitty air, breathe in shitty food, eat shitty food. You know, you gotta look at defiled, polluted people. Defiled, polluted women. Okay, this is a foul place, bro. That's why the scripture say the Lord gonna set a mark on the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. Right, Ezekiel the 9th chapter. So you're sighing and crying for the filth of this place, man. You know, this place is crazy. But when you look at the other parts of the world, they're just like America. America has become the whole world is like America, bro. You know, America is not the America is not the only place that's a foul place, man. Even though it's the most foul place, and this is the place where the Lord's gonna totally destroy it with missiles. But all these other countries are like America too. They have the vibration of America. You look at them, and they eat the same stuff. They dress the same clothes. You got all these American stores in all these other countries. You go to their airports. The airports are just like America. You know, the people are speaking English. The people are proud, just like they are here. The people are proud, bro, because everybody's Americanized. They've all drunk the wine of her wrath, or the wrath of her fornication. Man. It's like, uh, yeah, so they've all drinking that cup, man. They're all partakers. They're all partakers of that cup, man. They all partake in the wine of Babylon. They all love to have a show. No matter what part of the world you go to, for the most part, they're all Americanized. Except Russia. Russia got their own little way of life. You know, and these other countries like Cuba and stuff like that. But yeah, the ones that don't really have a central bank like that. Well, China is Americanized too, because they got in bed with this whore in order to receive benefits. But the point is that the wicked ass vibration that's on America is on all these nations, and all these kingdoms. So Job 10 again, verse 21, it says, "Before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death." It says, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, where the light is as darkness. Yeah, the most wickedest niggas are exalted here. The most terrible people. Okay, you got the women pedestalized, and you got death being celebrated. You got violence being celebrated. You got wickedness being celebrated, put on top. You know, like Beyonce said, I'm put your love on top. Well, America, they put death on top, man. They put death. They put destruction. They put the women on a pedestal. The women represents death in this world because the women are against the Most High Yahweh Shai. The Most High Yahweh Shai is dealing with the men. The men represent life. You know, the men of Israel. You know, but you see, the white man, he's pedestalized these damn women, and they bring forth death. The scriptures say her heart is snares and nets, traps. Right? America represents that scarlet colored beast that the woman rode upon. Right? The whore. So, like I said, the woman of today represents death because they're all under the Babylonian way of life. Even the women in Thailand and do you know the influence of America, bro? If you got Instagram, your ass is influenced. No matter how you look at it, your ass is influenced, man. You know, you look at from the countries, they're just like these American hoes. They're just like these American hoes. You go to Egypt, they got the same fucking vibration these women have to here. Same vibrations, bro. You know, they got the same fucking vibration, the same wicked attitude, you know, the same wicked ass spirit. They feel the same way as these American women feel, man. You know, they ain't no different. Go to any of these islands, man. You're gonna see the same, you're gonna see the same demonic spirit, man. That's on these people here. Because you got something called the internet. The same way you brothers out there, the same way you brothers out there woke up to the truth, the holy scriptures, you're under the vibration that the brothers over here are under, you know. So the same way that the truth spread through the internet, also wickedness spreads through the internet, man. Wickedness spreads through the ether, you know, and it permeates in the minds of these people. That's why it says, chapter, the line has gone out through all the earth, you know. Let's talk about us. There, the man of the Lord speaking the word. He said that there's no there's nowhere where their words are not heard, right? Okay, their word go forth, but also wickedness too. As there's a perfect balance with the Lord, wickedness going out too out there on the earth. So all these people are got the covering cast of Esau, man. You know, so the whole earth has become like a big graveyard. You know, like I said, the Raya Vlogs guy, he goes around the earth looking at different taking vlogs, stuff like that. And so yeah, he went to that Singapore zoo, and they had a bunch of endangered species there. That they had one of the I think you call them seals. I think that's what you call them, the little black seals, the ones that be in the Arctic oceans. They were doing like a little seal show where the seal was like he had a piece of plastic in his mouth, and he was acting like the seals do in the ocean. They were showing you how the seals basically end up dying, like the because of plastic in the ocean and pollution, contamination. Well, that all comes from America. That all comes from the American way of life. They're the ones that create these damn boats that these people use. You know, they're the ones that created all this what you call the global economy. You know, they're buying and selling with China. They're buying and selling with Germany. They're buying and selling with the UK. They're buying and selling with the African nations, right? They're buying and selling with everybody. So that's why it says that through that great traffic, that has made thyself rich. You know, but also with traffic comes pollution. That's why they have something called your carbon footprint, right? That's called pollution. That's called contamination. You exact business, or when you do anything, there's waste. Even like when you look at the satellites, right, in the sky, you have something called space pollution. I remember watching that movie with Sandra Bullock called Gravity, and one of the themes was space pollution. Esau even went up into the skies, upper atmosphere, and he left all his damn satellites up there. Didn't clean them up. You think he cleans up the satellites when he goes up there? Esau didn't clean it after himself. He's like a dirty pig. He don't clean after himself. Esau went up there into the skies, right? And he's seen the power that's in these satellites. But whenever he puts a satellite up there, he doesn't clean it. He just leaves it up there so that there could be more pollution. That's why you see all these meteorites coming down. Well, they're not meteorites. They're like fucking debris from the satellites. One of these days, your ass could be driving down the street, and your ass could get a fucking satellite through the front of your window that's coming down like, you know. That's how dirty this place is. You got all kind of pollution. You got something called light pollution too. You know, all these lights. That's why you can't see the stars. You know, sometimes I be going to these little rural areas, and you can see the stars when there's no lights around you. You know, you're in the dark. You could see like a field of stars, man. You know, you don't even need no telescope. You could see them. You know, but you got the actual physical pollution that's destroying all these animals and destroying all the people and destroying the habitats and causing all these animals to be extinct. When King David and Israel was ruling, man, you know, in Solomon's time, all this, you know, even when the wicked kings of Judah was ruling, they wasn't destroying the earth. They might have did some fucked up shit, you know, worshiping idols and different stuff like that, but they wasn't killing the animals in the sea. You know, that's why it says Job the 41st chapter. The Lord is going to call his pet Leviathan out to seas, man, because you know he's gonna start flipping these ships over. He gonna start fucking with you, with all you Edomites out there in the sea, with your little oil rigs and shit. You know, you got your you got your you got your tankers, oil tankers out there. You got your these naval destroyer ships out there. Well, if you watch the movie Godzilla or any of these movies, like Pacific Rim, they have these robots that's supposed to fight the kaiju. But the kaiju is based upon Leviathan, based upon the sea creature, which the scriptures describe as being the Lord's pet, like a massive dragon that's underneath the seas, that blows out smoke out his nose and fire out his mouth. And his scales so thick. They say his scales so thick that air can't pass through. They say nothing can pass through Leviathan's protective hide. Just like you look at a armadillo, when you look at the armadillo, nothing can penetrate his hide. You know? Or like a turtle, when the turtle coops up in his little, you know, the turtle would just be safe, you know, from all predators. So the Most High gonna release Leviathan to pierce the crooked serpent that's in the sea. It's gonna pierce the crooked serpent, which is the white man. You know, the white man is gonna get pierced through. Scripture say they pierced themselves through with many sorrows. This devil gonna get pierced through. You know, okay, and because of all his ill dealings, because of ill dealings, that's why you get the scripture right there. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries got by deceit, but by riches got by deceit, unrighteous dealings, right? Injuries. The kingdom is translated from one people towards the other people, who is us. 2 Ezra 6 and 9 say, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So Esau is the end of this age, you know, and we've described why this motherfucking devil is the devil on many occasions. That's our job to describe in full detail the charges of this devil, as a scribe would, right, or a lawyer would build up a case against you, and when in court, well, we're the prosecution and Esau is the defendant. Esau is like Esau. If we were in court, we're the prosecution. The Most High is the judge, and the other nations, the world is like the jury. But in this court, you don't have any say so. The jury, the other nations don't have any say so. You know, because if it was up to them, they would continue. The devil would continue. You know, but it's not up to them. It's up to us. And the Most High ultimately, the scripture say, the Most High ultimately is the judge. But he's gonna give it to whosoever is profitable, which is the election, starting with his son, the Lord and his son, whose name is not Jesus. because in those names is zero power in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus resides little to no power at all. So, like you said before, right? You cannot die here for free. You got to pay to die. You got to pay to die. You got to pay to live. You got to pay for water. You got to pay if you want to take a dump. If you want to take a dump, you got to pay. You got to pay to breathe clean air. They sell you oxygen in a bottle. Every single part of this world is commercialized. And when there's a price to something, um, basically that means that you're a slave. You could be bought and sold. Everything can be bought and sold here. Even, you know, what they call human trafficking, which is just another form of slavery that's not legal. See, back then they had human trafficking, which they human trafficked us, the Israelites, you know. But it was okay because it was part of the law, right? That you could do so. But nowadays, if you human traffic somebody, the reason why if you ship people in a container, right, you get in trouble for it because you're not paying the white man for it. You didn't let him know. You didn't cut him in on a deal. You could sell weed now at a dispensary and you won't get in trouble for it. Back in the day, you would get in trouble for selling weed. But why did you get in trouble for selling weed? Not because the weed was killing people or whatever, but because you didn't cut the white man in on a deal. The white man needs to get cut on all the deals. That's how he feels. If you're not cutting his ass in on a deal, that's illegal. You're taking money out of my pocket because this is my shit, right? Like he told Gad when he came here, this manifest destiny, right? Hey, well, manifest destiny is gonna come to us, to the daughter of Zion, to the children of the Most High Power. The manifest destiny is going to change in our favor, in the favor of the Israelites. You know, so it's basically impossible to die here for free. Okay, you're always gonna have to pay to die. But that's why we need deliverance out of here. Isaiah 51:17, it says, "Awake, awake, and stand, O Jerusalem, at the hand of the Lord. The cup of his fury, thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling and wrung them out. There is none to guide her among all the sons." See, we rang out the dregs of this cup. We had to bear all this curses, all this hell. We had to bear all these lies. Okay, we can't go where we want to go. We can't do what we want to do. You're forced to work to live. Unless you're some type of girl or something, you could just spread your cheeks to somebody and he'll pay you. You know, he'll take care of your resources. See, at the end of the day, you know, this world is really set up to enslave the Israelite men. The women are free to do basically what they want to do. They're not really. I mean, they're under the physical curses. Yes, they have their hair missing and they don't have this and that and they stink and blah blah. And they have a girdle instead of a rent, right? But in terms of like their actual living conditions, they're actually pretty well off. Goddamn. Okay. They've been taken care of by this white man, but he's about to pull out the rug from under your feet. He's about to take away all the benefits and goodies that you once called your own, that you once depended upon, and you were so proud about, to the point where you said you didn't need the Israelite man, to the point where you said the Israelite man is obsolete. Niggas ain't shit. That's the phrase. The phrase was niggas ain't shit. Because that's another psyop by the devil. Rap music and all that shit. That put it all in your head. Rap music and TV shows and movies. Okay, and that's all death culture, which ultimately leads you to the grave, which ultimately leads you to pay a bunch of money in funeral costs. Which even if you even get a funeral, I know many individuals that never got no funeral. Anyway, it says there is none to guide her among the sons who she brought up. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand, all the sons that she hath brought up. These two things are come on to thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Nobody's sorry for you Negro Latinos in this world.
You die, you're just another statistic. If you perish here, you're just another statistic, boy. Ain't nobody care about you. Ain't nobody crying about you. You know, you're just another dead nigga. You're just another dead Latin. You're just another dead Native American. That's all you are. That's all you are to this world. You're just another number on the sheet. They're gonna cross your name off. Tiberius Witherspoon. Tiberius Witherspoon died here. He was born in 1993. He died in 2006. And he was 13 years old. And he was a good boy, whatever he was. He died in a drive-by shooting or whatever. If you're an old nigga, young nigga, the scriptures say what? They shall have no pity on the old nor the young. You know, a nation of fierce countenance that shall have no pity upon the young or the old, man. What does it mean, a fierce countenance? You look at these devils. They have the scriptures say they had a stout look, a look that was more stout than their fellows, right? They have a fucking fierce countenance. Okay, they look at you with death in their eyes, and they purpose themselves to overthrow your goings all the way back to the garden. You know. Oh, another spiritual thing too that Orion Vlogs was he went to Africa, but he went to the East Coast, and he went to the East Coast of Africa, a country called Tanzania, and they had a bunch of snakes there. You know, one of the snakes was called the Black Mamba, aka Kobe, right? That's a witchcraft, by the way. But they in those little towns, in the little rural little towns and shit, they have they have these Hamites doing witchcraft circles and shit, you know, and they're dealing with snakes and stuff like that. I was like, that's not Jake at all. That's not Israel. That's not what Israel would do. You know, even though Israel is very wicked, but that you could tell the spirit on them dudes is different than the spirit on the west coast of Africa. Just that's another point, you know, that I forgot to mention earlier. But knowing that this devil is the serpent in the scriptures, man, it just reminded me of, you know, his relationship with Ham, his relationship with all these other nations. So, you know what I'm saying? Our people, when you look at our people, man, we're a lively, you know, spiritual people. And you look at these other nations and they just represent death. They represent death. We represent life on the earth. You know, our people, you look at where Ryan went, he went to all these other places where we live, like Brazil and Costa Rica and Guatemala, and he went to Mexico, Machu Picchu. He went to Peru. He went to all these places, Venezuela, where they have the Angel Falls, a place called the Angel Falls, where the locals thought that that's where, you know, God would reside and all that stuff. Because, you know, Jake used to worship all kind of uh, they used to worship all kind of like they used to worship the sun. They used to worship all the nature, all things of nature. You know, the rivers. But they think that's what brings them life. You know, but really, they as you read in Romans 1:25, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, worship the creature more than the Creator, right? So they worship the creature more than the Creator itself. You know, so they have the mothers, the moon god, the sun god, this and that, which all they took from the heathen, right? Learn not the way of the heathen, right? But when you deal with Jake and his truth, like you represent the best of your people, because you can see like that they have life, but they just don't. They have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. You have the actual knowledge, the actual understanding of why things are the way they are. You know, this is why the Lord said, you shall eat of this, or you should eat of this bread, drink of this water. You shall never thirst. You should never be hungry again. Because you look at our people and they're fucking hungry. They're looking for answers. They don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh my God. Da, da, da. That's why all you niggas that leave the truth, you're shameful and you put to death, because you have been given things that are worth that great men have desired to look into and have not been able to see them. All right. You've been given the fucking keys of life. And here it is, you want to take it lightly. Oh, that's why the apostle been saying, oh, there should be millions and millions of camps out there, right? You know, he said that but we understand that that's not going to be possible. That's not possible because the labors are few. Matthew 9:36. The labors are few. The work is plenty, but the labors are few. So it can't be millions and millions of camps out there. It's only going to be a few good men out there really understanding the word and really teaching it. And it has to come from America, because this is the wickedest place on earth. So this is where the strongest truth would come out of too. Because wherever there's a force, there's an equal opposite force. Even Newton told you that shit. Even Newton told you that. The law of thermodynamics, right? law energy cannot be destroyed, right? It is only transferred. So the same thing applies with the law of physics, right? Every force has has an equal and opposite force that's pulling against it. That's what they would refer to as the balance of the universe, right? The Most High came up with that. The Most High came up with the balance of the universe and the yin and the yang and the polar opposites. You got the North Pole, the South Pole. You got dark energy and you got matter, you got antimatter, I should say. Right. So you got opposing forces that work in order to keep the world the way you see it. The balance. You have night and day cycles, right? You got men and women totally opposite to each other, right? But come together and create life, right? So there's balance. That's why you gotta have wickedness. You gotta have us, and you gotta have Esau. Esau represents the evil. He represents the death. He represents everything that's wrong with the world. But you represent life. You Israelites should represent life. That's why the ones of you that don't get this, that don't maintain yourself, that don't, you know, continue in the truth, you're gonna die because you fall into the category of this way of life. So the Lord needs to redeem us from the hands of death, right? Which is ultimately um here in America. Actually, 1 Corinthians 15 says, death, where's thy sting? And the grave, where's thy 54 says, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to the Most High who giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. See, we're gonna overcome. We're gonna overcome this death. You know, we ain't gonna have to pay no more to somebody for funeral costs or arrangements. See, death is the final enemy, right? So the Lord said he overcame death. I overcame death. It says the sting of death is sin and the strength of sin is the law. We're not going to be under um, the curse of the law anymore because we're going to be under the new covenant where we're going to be perfect in the eyes of the Lord. We're never going to die. Like LeVar Ball said, I never lost. You're never going to die, never die. And you're going to experience what it's like to be free at last, be able to do what you want to do. No type of depression, no type of worrying about, oh, I don't have enough money to go here, go there, pay the bills. I ain't got enough money. I gotta ask this devil if I could leave. I gotta ask this devil what I could do. Nah, there's gonna be a total freedom. But it starts with knowing the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall what? Set you free. The truth is gonna set you free to the point where right now your mind's free, but your body's gonna be free. You're gonna be free from the sting of death. Because right now you're still underneath death because of these bodies. These bodies are subject to death. Your spirit is an eternal spirit that belongs to the Father, but your body belongs to the white man. Your body belongs to the world. Your body belongs to the United States of America Corporation, underneath the birth certificate and the Social Security. That's why you have a name and a number like a prisoner like a prisoner in the jail. So it says, but thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Your labor is not in vain because there's a sure reward for them that seek the Lord and for them that wait upon him, because he shall release you from the bondage of corruption, right? Which ultimately is these bodies. Ultimately is this you're under the bondage of corruption, right? You're a god on this earth, a princess on this earth, and you're subject to curses. You're subject to being underneath people who are inferior to you, right? Because of this here transgressions that you've committed against the Father. All right. That's why you can't do what you want to do. That's why you have to pay when you die. These are all curses that the Most High sent as a punishment for disobedience, you know. But he said, "What I shall redeem thee." You know, it said Luke 1 in verse 68, because it says, um, "No man shall buy thee, no man shall redeem thee." Deuteronomy 28:68. The word redeem means to buy back, right? The purchased possession, right, which he purchased with his blood. He's gonna buy it back from the hands of the white man, the oppressor. All right, the same oppressor that's keeping you in this fucked up debt slavery and this fucked up uh, 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 every aspect of, of this society is slavery. I was gonna go through all the forms of slavery, but I let's just say all of them, you know. But anyways, Luke 1 and 68, it says, "Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. And the Most High have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all them that hate us, to perform the mercy to our that was promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant, the oath which he swore to Abraham our father, that he would grant unto us that we, being delivered out of the hands of our enemies, might serve him without fear." That's why it says in Psalms 110:6, "The Lord is on my side. I shall not fear what man can do unto me." Because really, death is just a release from this fucking body, from this corruption. You know, death is just a release from this, from all these bills you got to pay, all this fucking hell you got to catch, man. You know, who the fuck want to keep paying for shit that they should be, it should be free? Like the brother said here, man. Haggai 1:6, right? You have sown much and bring in little. You have not enough. You drink, but you are not filled with. You clothe, but there's none warm. He that earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes. Yeah, come. Baruch 3:8. It said, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, and according to all the iniquity of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. That's right. That's right. So yeah, so basically we we're under we're under these curses until the Lord redeems us, right? But blessed be the Lord, he has visited and redeemed his people, you know, from the hand of them that would seek to consume us, man. If the Lord had not left unto us a remnant, we would have been like onto Sodom and onto Egypt, right? We'd have been destroyed, you know. Titus 2 and verse 13, looking for the blessed hope and the glorious appearing of the great power in our Savior, Hamashiach Yahushua, who gave himself up for us, that he might redeem us from all iniquity and purify unto himself a peculiar people of good works. Okay, these things speak, exhort, and rebuke with all authority, and let no man despise thee. Right. So the Lord said he redeemed us from all our iniquities and purified unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works. um the evil works. So why your ass is in here in this captivity? Why the Lord doing this to me? Why the Lord doing that to me? Well, the Lord's doing that to you because you fucked up and you did a lot of dirt, and you got to pay to die, because you have been following the ways of death for many moons as a people. So when Job said, though he slay me, I'll praise him, you know, that's basically the sentiment of the hopeful elect. The hopeful elect are taking it cheerfully, as it says in Sirach 2. And when thou art brought to a lower state, take it cheerfully. Um, Everybody wants pleasure in this world. You look at the world, it's full of pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. The Lord said, she that liveth pleasure dead, why she live it? You We are brought here to suffer. We're not here. If you're in the spirit of partying and mirth, you're not in the spirit. The scriptures say, Ecclesiastes the 7th chapter. Okay. And the first verse, a good name is better than precious ointment, and you lost your name as a people. You have no name right now. Like that movie No Name with this guy Better Call Saul, the lawyer. You have no fucking name right now, all right? As a people, nobody respects your ass. Nobody looks at you as nothing. You know. The Lord said, "One will return and surname himself by the name of Jacob, another by the name of Israel." That's the elect. But us as a people, we don't have a name, as it were. You're referred to as blacks in the world. That's what people call you. Ain't nobody walking around here calling you Israelites except yourself. All right. Everybody else calling you niggas, Latins, Mexicans, and all this different shit. Right. So a good name is better than present ointment, and the day of death is better than the day of one's birth, right? Because when you come into this fucking world, you come here to suffer. So it's better to die than to beg. The Lord says better to die than to beg. You come here to beg, to suffer. You come here to work low jobs. You come here to fucking be gangbangers. You come here to, yeah, that's what you're born for. You're born here to cause confusion on the earth. So the Lord says better than to die than to beg. It's better the day of one's death than better than the day of one's birth. Because when you die out of here, you actually receive you go up into the heavens. You know, you die, you get a clean slate, and you get to start all over again. Or you come back, I don't know, maybe like however many years later, 3 or 4 generations later, these freaky niggas, you might come quicker than what you thought. Because these niggas be freaky. They be they be, they, they be seeing their grandkids when they're young. So they be seeing their great grandkids while they're still alive, because they're all 12 years old popping each other out. You be 99, you met the little version of yourself. Nah, I'm fucking with you. But the Lord works on his own time. Now it says Ecclesiastes 7:2, it's better to go into the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. So it's better to go to the house of mourning than the house of feasting, right? Sorrow is better than laughter. By the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. The heart of wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It's better to hear the rebuke of wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. So, like I said, this world is all about pleasure, because we live in a demonic, evil world that is not a spiritual place. It's not a place of understanding and truth, and it's a world full of lies, hypocrisy. The scriptures say lies, hypocrisy. The prey departed not, right? This world is full of lies and hypocrisy, man. It says, 1 Timothy 4:1, now the Spirit speaks expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. The whole world has departed from the faith. If you're not in the truth, you're of the world. If you're not in the true truth, I'm talking about the real truth, the 100% truth. If you're not in the truth, you are of the world. So it says you speak lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. Right? That's why the inhabitants of the earth will be burnt and few men will be left, because only the man that's teaching the truth is going to really be left, and the ones that believe in their testimony. You know? Other than that, you're going to die, especially here in Babylon. But the rest of you people out there, you're going to be slaves, because through the truth is the power. That's where the Bible. Why do you think everybody wants to be the Israelites? Everybody wants to be the Lord's people. That's why they say salvation for everybody, because salvation is power. When you get saved, uh, you become you become powerful, because you leave out this slave state, you leave out of this poor state, and you become something greater. You know, we need saving. The white man is the one that's doing the oppressing. Who the fuck is he? Who does he need saving from? Oh, you need to be saved from sin. We're the only ones under sin. Okay, the rest of the nations, yes, they commit sin. They commit sin, but they are sinful people. We are the Lord's people that was made a covenant with. So we know right from wrong according to the law. These people don't know the law. Okay, all nations can sin. Yes, all nations could technically sin. But they only a particular group of people were given a law. Okay, they're the scriptures describe the white man as the man of sin, meaning he just is sin walking around. When you look at a fucking white man devil, he's just sin walking around the earth. He's just sin. He's sin. Everything he does is sinful. He opens his mouth, it's sin. Psalms 58:3. It said the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. But the Lord said, I will punish you for all your iniquities, because only you have I known of all the families of the earth. So sin really pertains to us, right? That's why when we get redeemed from the sin of the law, we are going to get receive power. These motherfucking devils are not going to receive no power, because they are sin personified. When you look at this fucking cracker devil getting in his truck right now, he's sin. He's he's walking around like a pig. A pig is sinful in and of itself. He's an unclean animal. So this white man is a pig right there. Right there, this dude right here. He's a devil. He's a pig. He's no different than a pork, than a porky pig right there at the farm. That's just him. Us as a people, we represent the angelical like powers of the Lord on the earth. Jude, let's prove that. Let's prove that in the book of Jude. All right. It says the angels that led their first estate, right? What's the first estate? You falling away from your glory, your truth. Jude chapter 1 and verse 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance. I'll remind you of this. Though ye once knew this, when did you know this? When you was building the pyramids in Egypt. I looked it up. They said that the Israelites did not build no pyramids. These are some lying sons of bitches, man. That's why you can't look up. I mean, you can't believe everything you read on the internet, man. They literally said that the Israelites had no part in building those pyramids. Are you fucking kidding me? Those pyramids, like Araya went to the pyramids, so he was looking at it. He went inside, and I sound like a white man talking about Araya. Araya blogs. When he went inside the pyramid, he was like, oh my God, how could these people do this? Nobody knows how the pyramids are so perfect, aligned with the horizon of the earth, and they're all symmetrical. Nobody knows how. Look, we built that shit, bro. We built all that. Why you think 400 years we was up there? They see Esau gives you all these numbers, right? They say the pyramids were built in 3500 BC and all this shit. That shit don't make no sense, bro. That shit don't make it doesn't line up with the numbers. The numbers don't line up, bro. 3500 BC. That means 3500 years before we before the birth of the Messiah and all that. The Israelites were over there building the pyramids. It doesn't line up with the history. Okay, that's why the devil says that the earth is like 12 billion years old, or whatever he says, 3.5 billion years old. The universe is 13.7 billion years old. This is why the scriptures say to not worry about uh, questions that gender strifes and endless genealogies and science falsely so called, because you will never get to the end to the exact number where the Israelites built this and where the Israel. It's all spiritual. This truth is all spiritual, man. Okay. Oh, you can't trace your bloodline all the way back to your tribe, can you? You can't do that. You can't trace your bloodline all the way back to where yeah, I know where I came from. I'm a pure-blooded black man. I don't that's pride, bro. You can't trace your lineage all the way back to to uh to the ancient world, you know? You can't do a 23andMe and whatever they're gonna tell you, whatever they're gonna tell you is gonna be false. Whatever they tell you is gonna be false. All right, they're gonna tell you 27% Irish and 7% German and this and that. Whatever they tell you is bullshit. Well, they're gonna tell you what like a region of the world you came from. But ultimately, how do we know that we're the Israelites? How do we know the Lord? How do we know His names are true? How do we know? It's all through the Spirit. It's all through the Spirit of the Lord. It's all spiritual and it's all faith based. You know. But you see, the elect will be given that special gift of faith. Wisdom of Solomon 3:14. Blessed be the eunuch, which with his hands have wrought no iniquity. To him shall be given the special gift of faith. So that special gift of faith is going to be given to you, brothers, that actually serve the Lord in truth and sincerity, and actually chosen from the foundation of the world to receive this. Just like Esau was chosen to run this earth right now, you're going to be chosen to run the new world. So the Lord going to put us in remembrance, though we once knew this, how the Lord have saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not. And the angels which kept not their first estate, there you go, but left their own habitation, he reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the day of the great judgment. Okay, so we are those We are those spirits that didn't keep their first estate. We fell away, and we had to end up in this condition here where you got to ask for permission to go somewhere. You got to pay to die. All right. When we're back in our angelical state, we ain't gonna have to ask nobody for nothing. Okay. The scriptures say the Lord's gonna grant you your heart's desire before you ask it. The Lord's gonna give it to you. You had the thought, man. I wish I could. I wish I could get this, and the Lord's already gonna have it there prepared for you. You know. So that's why I say, watch the purchase possession. Let's get that too. The purchase. Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, according as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, to the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he hath made us accepted in the beloved. Uh, it says, in whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, according to the riches of his grace, wherein he hath abounded towards us in all wisdom and prudence, having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he had purposed in himself, that in the disposition of time, in the fullness of times, which now we're in, this is the fullness of times, everything coming full circle. It says that in the dispensation of the fullness of times, he might gather together in one all things in Yahweh Shai, both which are in heaven and they which are on earth, even in him, in whom we also have obtained an inheritance, joint heirs. Ask of me, and I shall give the heathen for thy inheritance. Psalms 2nd chapter. Uh, there you go. That's an inheritance. It says, being predestinated according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his will, that we should be to a praise of his glory, who first trusted in Yahweh Shai, the first fruits, in whom ye also trusted after that ye heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, in whom also after that ye believed, ye were sealed with that Holy Spirit of promise, of which is the earnest of our inheritance until what? The redemption of the purchased possession unto the praise of his glory. All right. Verse 13, that the it says the 17, it says that the power of our Lord Yahweh Shai, the Father of glory, may give unto you in the spirit of wisdom and revelation and the knowledge of him. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened, so you don't walk around in darkness like the rest of our people out there living in some jungle. And in Brazil, they don't. You think they know about the Lord and his son? You think they understand about the truth? You are blessed to be brought here. You are blessed to be brought to this understanding. Like some of us were literally brought to this fucking place to learn this truth, to learn this knowledge, bro. Like now you understand what the Lord put you on this path for, what the Lord had your family come to America for, what the Lord, you know what I'm saying, put you through all this bullshit so you could understand this truth, man. So you could get this truth. But the Lord wasn't going to tell it to you. Hey, look, my son, you're one of my chosen, and I'm gonna do this for you, and I'm gonna do that for you. No, the Lord speaks in mysterious ways, as they say. Well, the Lord speaks through actions, man. The Lord speaks through actions. Sometimes He speaks through men, yes, of course. Hosea 12:10. I have multiplied visions and used similar tools by the ministry of the prophets. But when he's talking to you in your life, he's gonna give you a plague. He's gonna give your ass some type of madness, and he gonna take somebody that you love. So he's gonna flip your fucking car over and fucking have it like a damn sandwich to give you a fucking warning. Look, you ain't fucking moving right, bro. You ain't doing something right. If the Lord fucking threatens your life, if you almost got hit by a lightning bolt, that hey, oh shit, I need a fucking if you got into a badass car accident and you just survived somehow, that should be an indication from the Most High. Something's going on. Your life flashed before your eyes and shit. The Lord speaks in actions, man. Sometimes he'll send a brother to tell you something, but sometimes, you know what I'm saying, he'll like, look, nigga, you better fucking, you gotta figure out, oh yeah, I went off. I did this the other day, blah blah. And sometimes you don't even know. Sometimes he may be judging you for something you did many moons ago or in another life, like the elder apostles used to speak about. But anywho, Okay, your eyes are enlightened, that you may know what is the hope of his calling, and what is the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints, in the Israelites, what is the exceeding greatness of his power towards us who believe, according to the working of his mighty power, which he wrought in Yahushua when he raised him from the dead and set him at his own right hand in the heavenly places. So as the Lord was set up, raised from the dead, we're going to be raised up from the dead. All right. As the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, we're gonna be raised up. We're gonna become the rich man. We're gonna become the plowman that overtakes the reaper. You know what I mean? So no more paying somebody for a funeral. $30,000 in the state of Massachusetts to pay somebody for a fucking funeral. You know, we ain't gonna need to pay nobody for a funeral. We ain't gonna need to ask nobody for one of all things. We ain't gonna need to ask for PTO time so I can get off my job so I go enjoy a vacation and then come back and have to spend more money and spend more money and spend more money and spend more money and be in this fucking constant death loop of cycle and shit like that game Death Loop. You die, you keep coming back. You die, you keep coming back. You die, keep coming back. We don't want to fucking die. We don't want to keep fucking dying, and we don't want to live. So we don't want to keep living in this condition, I should say. All right. But the life that's reserved unto us is a life worth living, like that Majid Jordan song. A life worth living, man. You know. So Job chapter 10 and verse 21 again. It says, actually, verse 20, are not my days few? Cease then, and let me alone, that I may take a little comfort before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness, even in the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, where the light is as darkness. So let us be delivered out of this place, man. You know, let us be delivered from the cruel and wicked, you know, the cruel and wicked ruler. It says Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 19. It says, now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints in the household of Most High. Yeah, you're strangers and foreigners in a land that don't belong to you, in another weird fucking land, all right? You're strangers and foreigners no longer, but you're fellow citizens with the Israelites in the kingdom of the Most High and of the household of the Heavenly Father, and are built up upon the foundation of the apostles and the prophets. The nation of Israel is built up upon the foundations of the men that's doing the work of the Lord. That's the pillar of the foundation of the people. Revelation 3 and 12, it says, he that overcometh, him shall I make a pillar in the temple of my God. So the pillar, the foundation is what? The foundation of the apostles and the prophets. Because that's the rulers of the house. Those are the lawgivers, the priests, the teachers. Many days and years the children of Israel shall abide without an ephod, without a king, without a priest, without a tabernacle. You know, many days you live with no leadership. Who is your leaders today? Fat ass TD Jakes. Those are your leaders. Your leaders are a bunch of weirdos, homosexuals, and people who have sold out to the white man. Control opposition. But see, the Lord said, Jeremiah 3:15, I'll give you passages according to my own heart, which shall feed you with knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And they're going to do what? They're going to return the heart of the fathers, the sons to the fathers, and the heart of the fathers to the sons. That's Malachi 3rd chapter. That's what no, Malachi the 4th chapter, I believe. They say, I will send Elijah the prophet, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers back to the sons, and the heart of the sons to the fathers, lest I smite the earth with a curse. So Abivin started it. Elijah the prophet, right? He started the truth, the whole real awakening, right? And then you had the rest of the men that came up under there and built upon that foundation and continued to, because that's the body of the prophet. But Before that, you didn't have none. You didn't have no understanding. There was people that knew that they were Israelites. See, that's another thing. When you see these guys, I always knew I was an Israelite. You knowing you're an Israelite is one thing, but you knowing the truth, did you know did you know the breakdowns of the prophets? Did you know the whole understanding of the mysteries of the scriptures? No, you didn't. Because if you did, you would be out there teaching it. All these people that they all Jake always want to prove that they knew everything before. I knew that. I knew about that. I knew this. I knew that. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You always had this old 95-year-old guy talking about, oh, since I was since I was like 9 years old, I always knew about the truth. Well, where were you teaching all your life? No, the real knowledge, the real understanding came from a particular group of men that the Lord was working with as the prophets, man. So just because you know you're an Israelite doesn't make you, oh, I'm good because I know I'm an Israelite. There's a lot of people that know that they're Israelites, or they think they know they're Israelites. There's an Israel and there's an Israel of the Most High. So there's a clear distinction between the two. So we have access to the Father, right? Fellow citizens, saints, and of the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and the prophets, Yahushua himself being the chief cornerstone, right? I've said in Zion, the chief cornerstone, right? That and a rock of offense, that all right, that's the chief cornerstone is the pillar between two walls, right? The Lord broke down the middle wall of partition between Judah and Ephraim, Israel and the southern kingdom, right? So the Lord was that chief cornerstone, which upon the house being built up, right? The chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth onto an holy temple in the Lord, in whom you are also built together for a habitation of the Most High through the Spirit. So, with the Lord Yahushua giving His Spirit to His men, the foundation of the house continue to be built. He's the building block, and His Spirit and His men keep building, laying upon the brick, and until the house is built, then the inhabitants, the rest of Israel, come up in there, and that's those of you that listen to the faith and understand the truth and give your donations and do all that different stuff. Here goes the plate, pass it around. That's what they do in the church. Hey, here you go, and you niggas, you give the plate, and you give your last offerings to the Jesus Christ ministry over there when they're not building nothing. What the fuck are they building? But here it is. If a brother is down, destitute, and all this shit, he's a fucking bug out because he needs help. He's a weirdo. You're a wolf because you need some help. Not the apostle Paul say, man, we have given you spiritual things, shall we not reap your carnal thing? The things that you have received from the brotherhood are things that you can never pay money for. But here it is, you getting it for free. And in this world, you have to pay for everything, don't you? You even got to pay to die. But here it is, the Most High and all His glory and His wisdom gave you this truth for free. But the scriptures say, freely you have received, freely give. So we give it freely. Come buy without price. Isaiah 55. Come, oh you that thirst, come and buy without price. So as we received it free, we give it free. But see, that's the thing. Jake don't value anything unless they gotta fucking bust their ass and pay for it. Hey, to enter into this kingdom, you have to fucking blood, sweat, and tears to get to enter into life. You're gonna have to sacrifice your life. Sacrifice things you love. Give up the delicacies of the world, the flesh. Give up women. Give up fucking. If needs be, your own kids. All right. The Lord said, "Whosoever will love father and mother more than me is not worthy of me. Whosoever will love the daughter or the woman more than me is not worthy of me." If a man hate his own life, he cannot be my disciple. If he love his life, he cannot be my disciple. Okay, because the disciples and the men of the Lord are not of this world. So ultimately, what we're seeking for is escape out of this death. All right, out of this the clutches of the white man, the clutches of death, the sin of the curse of sin, which is the curse of the law, and all the rest of it that comes with it, man. But yeah, so even dying is not free here, man. But entering into the everlasting rest is a gift of the Lord, right? Because that's called grace. We're under grace. His abundant grace that we've been given, uh, we don't have to pay no funeral costs for it, man. We don't have to pay out of pocket expenses and co-pays to get what we're about to get from the Father. But you do have to give your life. Romans the 12th chapter. I beseech you, brethren, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable, which is your reasonable service. Because what you're getting, the scripture say what? Romans the 8th chapter. Um, it says that this light affliction that we're going through is not worthy to be accounted with the things that shall be the glory which shall be revealed in us, man. So, you know, continue to wait, because the Lord said, "Wait ye upon me, uh, until I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather nations, man, that might pour my indignation and wrath upon the people." So it's at the doors. The reward is at the doors. The reward for your patience. Woe to you that has lost patience, man. All right. For what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? Okay. So with that, anyways, call I'm La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Wakakwadash, the bonds to the apostles, and every great millstone. And peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom. Dying ain't even free here, man. But living is, though. Hey, shalom, shalom.